Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Wisconsin.
Been a tough weekend with the weather. A 2.5-hour rain delay on Friday night. A game the Pirates went on to win. And then last night, rainy and chilly. Pittsburgh, Josh Harrison with his 10th inning walk-off single to give the Pirates a 2-1 win. But the sun is out today. This is what a pretty day looks like in Pittsburgh outside PNC Park, where the Brewers and Pirates finish up this series. The Crew trying to get one game of the series and a split in the road trip. Good afternoon from PNC Park. Alongside Bill Schroeder, I'm Matt LePay. Sophia Minard is our reporter. Well, the offense is bogged down here a little bit. The conditions, Pirates pitching, a pretty nasty combination. But, Rock, the Brewers have given themselves a chance. Good pitching, and especially so last night with what Matt Garza did again.
Yeah, Garza was outstanding. Jimmy Nelson was off to a very good start on Friday, but the rain came and short-circuited his start. But you can't really speak enough about what this pitching staff has done in the last two games. I know it's not a long time, but a 2.08 earned run average. But look at the run support down there. 1 run in 2 games. You're talking about a Brewers offense. It's one of the better clicking offenses in all of baseball in the beginning part of the season. They really haven't been able to get going. The strikeouts are up, and it's always tough to score runs when Ryan Braun's out of the lineup.
Yeah, and he has been out of the lineup throughout the course of this road trip. 1 pinch hit appearance. That was in St. Louis. When we continue, we'll tell you more about Mr. Versatility, Hernan Perez. He has started in 5 different positions, and he's hitting well as well. As we continue in Pittsburgh. By Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Let the games begin. Nice day in the 50s and rain-free finally as we get set to wrap up this series and the road trip. The Brewers and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Buccos winning the first 2 games on Friday night and last night in extra innings. Crew taking 2 out of 3 in St. Louis as Craig Counsell's team will try to get back to 500 going into today's game. 15-16 in a bunched up National League Central. Everybody has lost at least 14 times already this season, as opposed to last year when the Cubs were starting to run away and hide already. A competitive month for Council's team, trying to continue it here today. Before we get started, let us get our Car Soup scoop from the clubhouse as we check in with Sophia Minards.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, a quick update for you on Junior Guerra. He returned to Milwaukee and was in Appleton yesterday, where he threw a live batting practice, 2 innings of work for him. Craig Counsell said it was a good report. He got through that well, and he's going to stay there. He's going to go through a normal workout in Appleton today. He will rejoin the team in Milwaukee, and the next step for him will be to throw about 55 to 60 pitches of live BP on Wednesday. So they are getting closer with Guerra, which is good news, and Counsell thought he would need probably 2 minor league rehab starts once they get to that point. And also, we talked about the Brewers offense with him. Just 1 run for them over this series. They were shut out for the first time on Friday. The 1 run last night thanks to Hernan Perez. But he said really he felt that that's been a product of the conditions the last 2 days. Very cold, very rainy. And also they've run into 2 good starts from Pittsburgh. So he said we definitely miss Ryan Braun's bat in the lineup, but thought that the weather conditions played a role as well. And guys, a quick update for you on Braun. He just came into the dugout. He was on the field throwing before the game. Told me he went probably between 100 and 120 feet of throwing. Said it went well, so he's hopeful he can be back in the lineup on Tuesday.
All right, Sophia, thank you very much. And it'll be nice when he gets back, but the Brewers will play on without him as we get ready to roll here. Let's check out the Brewers batting order presented by Potawatomi. Jonathan Villar, Eric Thames, and Hernan Perez at the top. Travis Shaw in the cleanup slot again, followed by Domingo Santana and Jet Bandy. Keon Broxton hits 7th, Orlando Arcia 8th, and Zach Davies rounds out the Brewers batting order, and that's the look that Tyler Glasnow will face.
He's a big kid. He's 6'8", 220 pounds. He was a 5th rounder back in 2011. 23 years old. It's been kind of a shaky start for him, although he was pretty good his last time out. 3 runs, all 3 runs coming on a Joey Votto home run in the first inning in his last start, but he got through 6 innings in his first win of the season. Let's check out the Menards Pirates defense. You got Osuna, Polanco, and Jaso in the outfield. New look lineup for Clinton Hurdle and the Pirate. You got Ngope at third base, Mercer, Gosselin up the middle, Josh Bell, who's been swinging a red hot at first, and Chris Stewart behind home plate.
So you're right, a mix and match lineup for Hurdle as his team goes for the sweep. Brewers trying to get a split in the road trip after a good visit to St. Louis. A couple of tough ones here so far in Pittsburgh, and the game's first pitch is a fastball to Villar, and we are underway at PNC Park. Now the roller coaster ride for Villar continues here as he was on a pretty good run, and this has been a challenging trip for him at the plate, trying to straighten it out today, but he sends this one into the air into shallow center field, and the long run, and it is handled by Gregory Polanco for the first out of the day.
Yeah, pretty windy, blowing out to center field, and made that one a bit of a challenge out there in short center field. Yeah, wind really gusting. It's blowing hard straight out to center, which should help the hitters here tonight. Or I should say today, but a good play by Polanco, able to grab it.
Yeah, you're right about that breeze, as you can see from the flags there, but it would be a stretch to call today balmy, but it's certainly much better than what the guys have had to put up with the weather the last couple of games. On Friday night, a rain delay of nearly 2.5 hours. The temperature took about a 15-degree dip from the first pitch to when the game ended early Saturday morning Eastern time as Eric Thames settles in. And then last night, a light rain, but it was steady throughout the course of most of the game, and temperatures only in the 40s. And you combine that with some really good pitching, and it was tough for any offense to get going as Eric Thames trying to get going, and he singles into right center field.
Well, first time really this year that the Brewers offense has been stymied on back-to-back nights. They got shut out on Friday, 1 run yesterday, and Craig Counsell hoping that his guys start swinging the bats again. Good start for Eric Thames here today.
Had a hit last night and trying to get rolling again after that historic month of April as a Milwaukee Brewer. And here is Hernan Perez once again in the starting lineup and in left field here this afternoon. Hernan was the offense. He has been the offense in this series. The solo homer last night. One run the Brewers were able to get here through the first couple of games. This is against Garrett Cole, who pitched extremely well, but he can give up the big fly, and he did to Perez. A Powerball home run count, 4 on the year now for Perez.
Yeah, big fastball, mid-90s up in the zone, and he's able to tomahawk it out of here.
1 strike pitch to Perez is in there. A curve for strike 2 Cole.
Yeah, they say that curveball is a good pitch for Glasnow. It's his fastball command that has given him problems so far.
Yeah, a lot of walks. We showed you the numbers for the 23-year-old when he had in his last outing, his first as a big leaguer. They've had a lot of highly regarded prospects in their system, and he was one of a handful to make his big league debut a year ago. 2-strike pitch to Perez. Fastball swung on and missed, and there's out number 2.
Yeah, scouting report on Glasnow is he really struggles in the first inning, but he looks pretty good here today. Most of the damage that he has given up has come early in the game, first inning in particular.
Yeah, he has given up a couple of home runs, 10 home runs in the first, or 10 runs allowed in the first inning. The Brewers trying to get to him. They have a base runner in Eric Thames at first with 2 men out for the cleanup hitter Travis Shaw. Looking for his first hit of the weekend. He leads this team with those 23 RBIs. Takes one clocked at 97 from Glasnow for strike 1. As you see the list of the RBI leaders with this Brewers team, he distributed that pretty well as they have the home run power. Of course, Thames leading the way with the 11, but 13 different Brewers have hit home runs already this year. And a big one from Shaw on Monday night in the 10th inning that allowed the Brewers to beat the Cardinals in extra innings. And Shaw swings and lifts it into right field. Room for John Jaso. And that'll do it for Milwaukee. Well, Glasnow did have troubles in the first inning, but not so today. Pirates coming up. In the top of the first on a sunny but cool day here in Pittsburgh. Clint Hurdle's team winners of the first 2 of this series, now at 14 and 16. After missing the postseason last year, that ended a 3-year run of getting into postseason play. Get it back in there if you can in 2017. Here's the lineup. The batting order for the Pirates presented by Potawatomi. John Jaso, Jordy Mercer, and Josh Bell. 1, 2, and 3. Polanco, Ozuna, and Goslin in the middle. Gift and Gope. Chris Stewart, Tyler Glasnow rounding out the batting order against the Brewers starter Zach Davies.
Now Zach trying to turn things around against the Pirates. He's 0-2 in 3 starts. Very high earned run average. Last 2 starts not too bad. He's given up only 2 runs combined, but really has not been able to pitch too deep into ball games.
That's the next step for him by his own admission as he faces John Jaso. 5 1/3 is as deep as he has gone into a game. Jaso back in a spot in the order he's very familiar with from last year. He was the leadoff hitter for half the season for the Pirates. Had an on-base percentage of .341. See, the offense hasn't been there much for him so far this season. Also played a lot of first last year, but out there in right this afternoon. Davies with the 1-2 pitch, and Jaso pops this one up. And calling for it will be Orlando Arcia for out number 1.
Well, let's check out the Brewers Menards defense today. You got Hernan Perez, second start in left field in the series. Yesterday he started at shortstop. Broxton Santana round out the outfield. Shaw, Arcia, VR Thames from third to first. No changes there. And Jet Bandy getting his start behind home plate. It was Manny Pena for the first 2 games of this series.
And we'll take a look at the umpiring crew. Jim Reynolds, the crew chief, over at second. Lance Barrett, Stu Shearwater, and Brian Knight. Rounding out today's umpire crew, the series finale, as Jordy Mercer steps to the plate. Had a hit last night. 1 hit in the series. Been walked a couple of times. Veteran shortstop.
It's been all about fastball command for Zach. I mean, when he's able to put, pitches where he just put that last one, normally pretty good. He's been getting a little bit too much of the plate. And so far this year, that curveball has been a bit inconsistent. That was a pitch that he worked on a lot in spring training. Just hadn't been able to, get the feel for it.
Interesting matchup today between 2 starting pitchers who try to get through early game struggles. A storyline we talked about it with Glasnow. It's been an issue with Davies, although better, as we mentioned in the last couple of games. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Jordy Mercer. And that is strike 3 called. A punch out for Davies, and out number 2 in the first.
Well, that's a real good sign right there. Locating the fastball right there. That's what he needs to do. Establish that pitch on the outside corner, then start to come inside once in a while. That one right at the knees on the corner. Well done.
Davies retires the first 2 Pirates. We will face a hot hitter. Talk about the runs allowed in the first inning. First time through the order has been tough for Zach.
And particularly tough has been the 3rd inning. A lot of his runs have come in that 3rd inning.
There's Josh Bell having himself a good series. 2 hits in each of the first 2 games. Did a solo homer on Friday night. That was after the long rain delay. And Bell hits a little chopper. VR charging. And the flip is in time. So a good start for both Glasnow and Zach Davies, retiring the side in order. And we are through a scoreless first.
For the crew here in Pittsburgh, no score, second inning, and the Brewers are back on Tuesday for a 3-game interleague showdown against Dustin Pedroia and the Boston Red Sox as they make their first trip to Miller Park in nearly 14 years. Go to Brewers.com for tickets. Red Sox swinging the bats well this weekend.
Yeah, they put 11 on the board yesterday against the Twins. Domingo Santana leading things off. Red Sox had an 8-run second inning. Chris Sale is scheduled to go today, and the Brewers will miss him, and that's not a bad thing. The start he's off to, not getting much in the way of run support, although he did in his last outing, but he has been electric on the mound. 2 strikes and nothing to Santana leading off the second inning for Milwaukee. It's hard to believe it's been that long, but I guess maybe it shouldn't be that hard to believe since the Brewers have hosted the Red Sox. Took a trip there, first road trip of the year in 2014. Put a damper into their championship celebration ceremony as Santana stays in there.
Yeah, swept them.
It's the last time they met until Tuesday. We're starting a homestand with the Red Sox and the New York Mets. Tyler Glasnow, 6'8", 220. 23-year-old out of Santa Clarita, California, and he just catches Santana looking for out number 1.
Well, we were told that Glasnow has had control problems with his fastball. We haven't seen it in first inning plus. He has been right on the corners. Look at this pitch. Perfect at 96 miles an hour. Not a whole lot you can do with that.
Facing the Brewers for the first time in his young career. He will face Jet Bandy. As Rock mentioned, Bandy in the lineup here today after Manny Pena was behind the plate Friday night and last night. And the good numbers from this Brewers catcher. And the 1-strike pitch. Glasnow last year appeared in 7 games. He started 4 times. Missed a little time as the season went on. Had some shoulder soreness and actually worked out of the bullpen on 3 occasions in September. He's part of that young pitching core that they would love to stay healthy for one. And if that happens, they think they can get some pretty good production out of him as Bandy pops this one up. Backpedaling his Bell, but he will give way to Phil Gosselin for out number 2.
Well, he's 6'8", and a lot of times a guy that big, he's all arms and legs, and he can have some control problems because, you know, when you're that big, it's very tough to have that repeatable delivery. And before today, 17 walks in 20 2/3 innings. But he's averaging more than a strikeout per innings pitch, so you take the good with the bad with this guy. Pretty good his last time out, though.
And getting his first big league win against the Reds. And with 2 outs, bases empty, here is Keon Broxton. First pitch swinging, rolls one over to Jordy Mercer. And Glasnow is the model of efficiency through the first 2 innings. Still no score at PNC. Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Toyota. Let's go places. Busy weekend here. They don't run quite that fast, but they had the big marathon here today. Kids marathon yesterday. Kids had to run in the rain yesterday morning. Chilly here, but dry. Pretty good running weather, I assume. I have yet to. The next will be my first marathon.
Yeah, no chance of that. I get tired driving that far.
I hear you.
But I heard them down there, you know, the PA guy, and they were playing music about 5 in the morning.
You heard that too, huh?
Yeah, you heard it?
That was your wake-up call as well as everybody around the hotel, I think, this morning.
Yeah, streets are all blocked off. A lot of activity today in downtown Pittsburgh.
Gregory Polanco leading off the bottom of the second. I only sense mild concern after the Penguins lost last night, so the Capitals have extended that series to a 6th game. They are back here tomorrow.
Might be a little different if they lose that one.
Yeah, then the concern meter will move a little bit. And a 4-pitch walk to Polanco to begin the 2nd inning. Zach Davies got through the first in order, getting Jaso, Mercer, and Bell, but he begins the 2nd with a walk to the cleanup hitter, Gregory Polanco.
Yeah, really trying to stay away from Polanco, who has yet to hit a home run this year. Yeah, very careful pitches off the outside corner.
And Polanco last year showed a fair amount of power, going deep 22 times. Here is Jose Ozuna, getting a start for the 12th time. Brought him up after the suspension to Starling Marte, and Ozuna, when he starts, has hit the ball pretty well. Davies starts him with a strike. It's a Pirate team that has struggled to score. They don't strike out much, but have clearly scored enough to win the first 2 games of this series. 4-0 on Friday night, the first time the Brewers have been shut out this year, and then very well pitched game in the tough conditions last night. 2-1 in 10. Josh Harrison getting the walk-off knock that scored Gift and Gopay. What the Brewers have seen outside of the lousy weather they have had to deal with really in this road trip, much of it, and here in Pittsburgh specifically, is how good those starting pitchers have been for the Pirates. That has not been the problem with this team. For the most part, they have been very good with their rotation. 0-1 to Jose Ozuna. Polanco teasing as though he'll go, and a curve has Ozuna out in front. 2 strikes and nothing.
Yeah, that one is 73 miles an hour, and that's a key pitch for Zach Davies, as we've been talking about for his first handful of starts. I mean, he's got to be able to get that down in the strike zone and flip it up there for a strike early in the count.
Keeping an eye on Gregory Polanco. He certainly can run. He has 6 steals in 7 attempts this year.
And Zach pretty quick to home plate. Bandy's been throwing the baseball well, but if you pick a curveball, pretty good chance you're going to make it.
Leadoff walk here in the 2nd to Polanco. 2 strikes and nothing to Jose Ozuna, and a swing and a miss. And that's the 2nd strikeout for Davies already, and out number 1 in the 2nd.
Yeah, big curveball, then came inside with a fastball and tied them all up. This is good pitching, good game calling by Jet Bandy, and good execution by Davies. Perfect. In off the plate after a very slow curveball.
1 out, 1 on. Phil Goslin, the hitter. Goslin had a pinch single on Friday night. Pirates did their damage on Friday after the long rain delay, a 3-run 4th. And that was all they needed. They tacked on 1 more on the Josh Bell solo homer. And they've got Polanco picked off. He was leaning, and Davies nailed him for out number 2.
Yeah, we've seen some really bad base running by the Pirates in this series a couple of times in last night's ball game, and yeah, he was moving, and that's what you call getting picked off, and that's not even close. You can't get picked off by much more than that.
Yeah, you're right about the base running. The Pirates got away with it last night, but they ran themselves out of an inning. Back-to-back doubles. No one scored. Phil Goslin, the hitter. 2 balls, no strikes. Yes, Cervelli, who led off with a double. And then the next hitter doubled off the wall, and Cervelli went halfway and then started to retreat, and he had to stop at third after the John Jaso double. And then eventually Jaso was caught, I don't know if you say caught napping or lost track of the outs on a liner to left with 1 out. Jaso had his head down and was tearing around third and was easily doubled off at second. 3-1 the count to Phil Goslin. And a bouncing ball to Jonathan VR. And that'll do it for the Pirates in the second. 2 clean innings here in Pittsburgh in the series finale. Is it to miss Chris Sale, and we're starting that series on Tuesday. Trying to get a win here in Pittsburgh as we move to the 3rd inning. Scoreless so far as Orlando Arcia will lead off against Tyler Glasnow. Glasnow and Davies off to good starts here this afternoon. Roller coaster for Arcia at the plate continuing. He's just 1 hit here on the road swing. 8-9-1 in the Milwaukee batting order. And Arcia swings and lifts a fly ball into center field. Drifting back is Gregory Polanco for out number 1.
Hey, plan to be in Miller Park for the Brewers' next 5-county Friday, this coming Friday against the New York Mets. If you're a resident of the 5-county area, your tickets are half price for the series opener between the Crew and the Mets. Reserve your spot today at Brewers.com.
The Mets today suspended Matt Harvey for 3 days.
Violation of team rules.
Yeah.
That could mean anything.
They're going to try to keep that all in-house. We'll see how long that lasts as Zach Davies steps in. That's the kind of thing you hear about college athletes. You don't hear it a whole lot, maybe in the big leagues, if it's baseball or maybe especially in baseball, but you don't hear it a ton at the professional level.
Yeah, discipline goes on in that clubhouse, but it very rarely becomes public. So it must be something important to the Mets for them to do that.
He was scheduled to go today, but obviously that's not going to happen. A ball, 2 strikes. Glasnow against Zach Davies. So Glasnow, part of that pitching prospect group that included Jamison Tyone. Back on the disabled list right now. Chad Kuhl, Stephen Brault, they all had their debuts in the major leagues last year. As Davies pops this one up and it'll go back into the seats. The 2-2 again. And Davies hits this into center field. Another chance for Polanco. 2 up, 2 down in the 3rd. Well, let's check out time now for the Unlimited Baseball break, brought to you by T-Mobile. See Mike Trout scratched yesterday from the Angels lineup. Little hamstring tightness. Check out that start he is having. Zach Britton, the forearm strain has him on the 10-day DL. And we talked about the issue with Matt Harvey, and those are un-Harvey-like numbers. You look at that ERA, but the violation of team rules has him out of service for the next 3 days.
That's basically one start.
Yeah, today. So we'll look for him next weekend.
But the 3 days without pay, that's the stinger. You know, the way these guys, the amount of money these guys are making today.
A noticeable hit.
But I think he'll get by.
You trust he will survive the blow? The ball, a strike to Jonathan Villar. Terry Collins has had his headaches at their club the last year plus. Went to the World Series, though, a couple of years ago. 3 balls, 1 strike to Villar.
Yep, no more Syndergaard on the disabled list, and things aren't going to be easy for the Mets the way the Nationals are playing. On their 21st game yesterday.
They have been terrific. Ryan Zimmerman has taken over the home run lead in the National League with 13, including 1 yesterday. Villar with a liner that goes over Jordy Mercer, and in the left center field, a base hit. Big turn for Villar. He'll hold at 1, and it's hit number 2 here for the Brewers.
Yeah, that's what Villar needs to do a little bit more of, just waiting back and driving the ball to the opposite field. You see that pitch going away from him. He waits back and hits a liner right over the head of Mercer. He was thinking about a double. Good thing he stopped. Well, maybe we'll see Villar take off and try and steal a base.
He has stolen 6 in 7 attempts as Eric Thames settles in. Thames a base hit to right center his first trip. Brewers trying to get that offense back in gear. A group that's averaging nearly 5 runs a game. Just 1 run so far in this series. They have slipped to 6th in the National League in runs scored. Thames with the 20 RBIs, ranking 2nd only to Travis Shaw. Pitch.
You know, the easy thing would be to point to Ryan Braun not being in the lineup. That certainly doesn't help, but I think that, as Craig Counsell said and Sophia was talking about, you know, they ran in some pretty good pitching here in Pittsburgh. I mean, Garrett Cole
Seems to be on top of his game. The Pirates bullpen was very sharp in this series and have been.
Wade LeBlanc came in after the rain delay on Friday night, worked 3 effective innings. Felipe Rivero, both Friday night and last night, very impressive.
Yeah, he's the real deal.
Hard throwing left-hander, good changeup. 2-0 pitch to Thames.
And the other thing is, when you rely heavily on the home run ball, I mean, you are suspect to going into games or stretches where you're not scoring, because you're not going to hit home runs every night.
That's the case. The Brewers' one run is via the home run from Hernan Perez, but unable to scratch out some runs. They've had some chances to do so, but he's not able to get that big 2-out hit with runners in scoring position. Didn't have a ton of opportunities last night, as they had just 3 hits on the night, but they were 1 for 7 in that category on Friday and stranded 8 runners in the loss to the Pirates. VR is running, and Thames fouls it out of play.
Except for the home run by Perez in the 4th inning, the Brewers only had a man at second base once.
It was a tough night. Eric Cole and Matt Garza were matching each other pitch for pitch. And bullpen just a little bit better for the Pirates. And Corey Knebel was terrific, striking out the side. 3-2 pitch with VR running, and Thames smacks it to right field. Jason misplays it, flies over his head and to the wall. VR's going to score, and Thames into second as the Brewers are first on the board on this Sunday afternoon.
Well, John Jaso misplayed that when it was hit hard. I think he thought it was going to be a sinking liner out to him. And a 3-2 pitch, a curveball. Now watch Jaso. He kind of stuck right in his tracks right here, but then realized he's not going to be able to get there. That ball had some good carry on it. Over the head, and with VR running on the pitch, he scores easily. And the Brewers take advantage of a mistake by John Jaso out in right field.
So the Brewers grab the lead here in the 3rd as we check in with Sophia.
Well, that topic of offense and home runs came up obviously in regards to Eric Thames, because it feels like a news story when you go on a road trip, and he hasn't hit one yet, and he has struggled a bit. He's 150 on the trip, has 3 hits, but now has been on base twice today with the single, and now the RBI double. But Counsell seemed kind of unfazed by it. He said, look, this is just the baseball season. We're going to go through ups and downs. Thames has said that as well. He said he's had some hard hit balls that have been caught and not fallen in for hits, so he seemed very unconcerned about Thames' approach, felt it had been consistent on this road trip, and said, look, he should still be very happy. He still has 11 home runs on just May 7th.
Yeah, that's not bad. That is perspective.
Well, he's still getting on base.
He is,
his on-base
yes.
percentage still high. He might not be getting the base hits or the home runs, but still drawing his walks and getting on base.
His on-base percentage .424 going into the game, and that's obviously going nowhere but up as Perez rounds one to Jordy Mercer, and the throw over to first is in time. But the Brewers get on the scoreboard here in inning number 3, courtesy of Eric Thames driving home Jonathan VR. And we are through 2.5 in Pittsburgh, with the Brewers leading 1-0. Fox Sports Go. Download the app. Take Fox Sports Wisconsin and Brewers baseball with you wherever you go. One scoring double from Eric Thames opens up the scoring this afternoon. We move to the bottom of the third at PNC Park. 7, 8 to 9 in the order for the Pirates. Gifting Gopay leading things off. He scored the winning run last night in the 10th inning. Home on the walk-off knock from Josh Harrison.
That leadoff single in the 10th for Gopay.
Starting over at third this afternoon. He was at second last night. He was 7 for 21 at the plate since being called up. First from the continent of Africa to get to the big leagues. We've told you his story here throughout the course of the weekend. And a bouncing ball by Davies. Arcia behind the bag doing Orlando Arcia things. Out number 1.
Yeah, nice play. The flip to first base was the toughest part of that play, with his momentum going toward right field. And check it out. It's all about the balance for Orlando Arcia. He's always on balance, feet under him, and able to make an off-balance flip over to first base with something on it, very accurate, and gets his man. Do not take that for granted. Not an easy play.
That's good work. Not enough time to do that 360 that he does very well, but Gopay getting up the line and Arcia able to make the play. Here's Chris Stewart, veteran backup catcher, the 35-year-old, 4th year with the Pirates. So his overall numbers, he likes hitting at home. He has a pretty good batting average here at PNC Park. Francisco Cervelli getting the afternoon off, at least in terms of starting the ball game. Cervelli played in 3 straight games after missing 4 with the foot injury.
He got some firepower on the bench as the game goes on for Pittsburgh. Cervelli, Josh Harrison, yesterday's star, he got the walk-off base hit, and Andrew McCutcheon sitting this one out.
Pretty good weapons to turn to there for Clint Hurdle. The 2-1 pitch is in there for strike 2 called from Zach Davies. Davies has given up just a walk so far. That was to Gregory Polanco, who led off the 2nd inning, and then Polanco got himself picked off first. 2-2 pitch from Davies. Stewart turns on it and fouls it out of play.
That change-up that he left inside, that's not where you want to leave it. Throw that change-up down and away if you can. If not, you want to have it down at least.
Be no small thing here if Davies can get through this 3rd inning unscathed. We've talked about the early inning struggles. So far, so good this afternoon.
Seems like it's one big inning for Davies, no matter what inning it is. Last time out, a couple of runs in the 5th against St. Louis. A couple of solo homers.
Yeah, back to back. And Stewart hits that hard, but foul. As Matt Carpenter letting Diaz after the Brewers have built an early 4-0 lead. Crew went on to win the game, but no decision for Zach as that game took 10 innings. 5 innings of 7-hit 2-run baseball from Davies in that series opener at Busch Stadium. Stewart giving Zach a good battle. Right here. Hit me harder. Is that all you got?
Yeah. Some pretty sweet cleats that Chris Stewart is featuring. And not something you see from a catcher all that often. Those are nice.
Stewart goes the other way into right center field, a base hit. Santana cuts it off. There's the first hit of the afternoon for the Pirates.
Yeah, they say when you're hitting, they say you have your hitting shoes on, and not only are they hitting shoes, but you won't lose him in the dark.
Well, those are good kicks.
Very nice. It's all about the shoes. A nice stroke too in the right field. I believe he's got to feel fast in those.
Oh, yeah. The fleet-footed catcher. Tyler Glasnow trying to bunt at a foul tip. Pirates wearing the throwback 70s unis here on this Sunday afternoon. We are family Pirates. Except the shoes. Glasnow in that first big league win he had on Tuesday in Cincinnati, he also drove in 3 runs. Bunting situation here, obviously. He had a 2-run single in that game and also drew a walk with the bases loaded. Bunts right through that, and it's 0-2. All in all, it's a pretty good day at Great American Ballpark for young Tyler Glasnow. No balls, 2 strikes. He'll pull back as Davies missed with a curveball. Davies trying to beat the Pirates for the first time in his career. This is his 4th start. A rough go of it. His first start a year ago was here. It's a tough afternoon for him. 1-2, and that is strike 3. A foul on a bunt attempt with 2 strikes, and that's the 2nd out of the inning.
Well, that's what you want to do. You want to throw that high fastball to a guy that's really not comfortable up there at the plate dropping down a bunt. Although he does have a hit this year. A little bit about Glasnow. Not much of an effort on the bunt.
2 men outs, and back to the top of the order in John Jaso, who popped up to Orlando Arcia. Jaso in the starting lineup for the 12th time this season. Primary first baseman a year ago. Move him around, at one time a catcher. Second year of his 2-year, $8 million contract with the Pirates. A team that is far from whole with the Marte suspension. Jung Ogong with the legal issues remains on the restricted list. We're still awaiting the return of David Freese under the hamstring problem.
Adam Frazier's on the disabled list.
Right.
And, yeah.
The ball is strike to John Jaso. As we mentioned, you don't really get obsessed with the standings at this still early stage of the season unless you're off to a great start or a lousy start. The Central Division here that is just really bunched up. No one has made any separation, certainly like the Cubs did a year ago. Every team in the division has lost at least 14 times. Jaso has his bat break into multiple pieces on a foul ball. Well, we've seen a few bats get sheared here this weekend.
Yeah, Josh Bell had a bat blow up on him last night. This is what you call being out in front of a changeup. And that's what happens with those cupped bats. They hollow out the end of the bat to take out some dead weight, and when you hit the baseball right on the end of one of those, that's what happens. They splinter.
A new bat and a 2-ball, 2-strike count to Jaso. Chris Stewart, the runner at first. He singled the first hit of the day for the Pirates. And now that 2-2 pitch. Some carry into the seats.
Yeah, they say you can't win a division in the first 6 weeks, but you can certainly lose one.
Yeah, without a doubt.
If you get off to a really bad start, I think the Toronto Blue Jays are close to that.
They are at, what, 10-20. The Royals 10-19, and the San Francisco Giants, they have had a world of trouble this weekend in Cincinnati. They've already lost 20 times, the Giants. 2-2 to Jaso, a ground ball into the shift. VR there, out on the grass, inning over. VR positioned perfectly, and down go the Pirates. Travis Shaw will be leading things off. He leads his Brewers team with 23 RBIs, has 6 bombs to go with it. Here's Route 3 with the Brewers leading 1-0. Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. By Hupy and Abraham, voted best, rated best. Hupy and Abraham, tell them you mean business. And by Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. One of the Pirates legends, Willie Stargell, statue just outside PNC Park. Here in Pittsburgh, PA, 1-0 Brewers as they come calling in the top of the 4th inning. Travis Shaw, Domingo Santana, and Jet Bandy. Shaw, a fly ball to right field that ended the 1st inning. Takes a curveball from Glasnow to even the count. See that mid-90s fastball that he could bring. Curve in the upper 70s. Effective change. And Shaw swings and lifts one deep into right field, and that is gone. A home run. Knew it on contact. Travis Shaw, number 7 on the year.
And just a sweet swing for Travis Shaw, and knocks that one out of here. Only the 3rd allowed by Glasnow. I'm just getting ready to say it's been pretty impressive watching this young man on the mound. He's been pretty good throwing the ball where he wants it. Takes a little bit off of this pitch. It's up and away. And Shaw able to hook it out of here. It's only 320 down the line, but you got to get over that high fence. And he certainly does that easily.
Here's Domingo Santana rolling one over to Phil Goslin for out number 1.
And just watch the good balance for Travis Shaw on this swing. I mean, always on balance. Perfect balance on the front and back foot, and good follow through. He's got a little slight uppercut. And ball just almost over everything here in right field.
7th homer and 24 RBIs now for Shaw. He cleared that Clemente wall easily. 21-foot high wall out there in right field. And that is home run number 51 for the Brew Crew. So a 2-0 lead for Milwaukee as Jet Bandy is at the plate. Popped up to 2nd in the 2nd inning. And you're right. Unlike Garrett Cole, who pitches well, he's been vulnerable to giving up the home runs. That has not been the case as much for Glasnow. Travis Shaw with a no-doubter, which most of the 51 home runs have been for the Brewers.
Yeah, there hasn't been too many is it going to make it. You know, they are pretty good blasts, and that one included.
1-2. Bandy swings and does not get it. That's the second out of the inning.
That's a good curveball. Hey, Mother's Day is coming up 1 week from today, and to celebrate, the Brewers are giving away a special Mother's Day wristlet to the first 20,000 fans at Miller Park for the Brewers series finale against the Mets. For tickets and details, go to brewers.com/promotions.
2 outs with the bases empty for Keon Broxton. 27 years old today is Broxton. One man with a hit in this series in his last 13 games. He has been on a good run. 341 in that stretch. Lines one hard but foul down the line.
He's starting to get that stroke back that he had last year. Key to Broxton is laying off that high fastball. He does that. He gets something down in the zone. He puts a pretty good swing on it.
And a home run in that series in St. Louis, and a 4-hit game in St. Louis. Ball, 2 strikes to the center fielder. And all the while he turns in good defense, does Broxton. Another impressive catch last night.
And there's a lot of room to cover in center field in this ballpark.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Leadoff homer from Travis Shaw here in the 4th inning. Brewers got on the board in the 3rd, an RBI double from Eric Thames. Brought around Jonathan Villar. Payoff pitch to Broxton, and curveball misses, and Broxton is on with 2 men out. First walk given up today from Tyler Glasnow. 5th round draft pick back in 2011.
Interesting selection of pitches. A curveball and a 3-2 count. He threw a couple of really good sliders to Broxton in that at bat. Decided not to go with that pitch.
Here's Orlando Arcia. The fly ball to Polanco in center in the 3rd inning. Arcia, the 8th place hitter in the Milwaukee batting order. Sends it foul down the line. We've seen Arcia at times be effective going the other way. Likewise with Keon Broxton.
You know, all 3 of Arcia's 3 home runs have come to right field.
No balls, 1 strike to the Brewers shortstop. Keeping an eye on Broxton, who has 6 stolen bases. He's been caught a couple of times. Brewers with 4 hits so far off Glasnow, including the home run from Shaw. Broxton's running, pitches outside, and the throw is in time. Chris Stewart catches Broxton at second base. 3rd time he's been caught here this season. And the Brewers add another run. Travis Shaw leads off the 4th with his 7th big fly of the year. 2-0 Brewers.
River. The Brewers have a 2-0 lead here at PNC Park. And last night we told you the Sky Sox had a season-high 15 runs in their win Friday night. Well, then last night they went out and outdid themselves. They scored 19 runs in their win against Fresno, 21 hits again on back-to-back nights, 7 doubles again, and they just continue to rake. They won that one 19-3 again after 15 runs the night before.
Yikes, 9 for 20. Those runners in scoring position numbers, that is some serious work being turned in. It is a crazy good offense.
Yeah, we talked about it in spring training. They're going to have a good team down there. They're going to have some guys who can hit.
I thought about saying.
Some good pitching.
Jordy Mercer leading things off. Mercer, Bell, and Polanco for the Pirates here in the 4th inning. Good hitting and good pitching with the Sky Sox in this early stage. The pitching probably the bigger story, with the collective ERA of that group being in the low 3s. Zach Davies has given up just 1 hit. He has walked a man through the first 3, and there's hit number 2 as Mercer sends one into center field.
They just can't afford to work behind in the count. And Zach Davies doesn't have the kind of stuff to get away with it. He's been ahead most of the time today, and that fastball down the middle, and Mercer barrels up another one. He was swinging the bat well last night.
One thing that eventually came back to haunt the Brewers in a low-scoring game, the Pirates to get the leadoff man aboard with regularity as the game was moving on, and Gifting Gopay started that 10th inning with a base hit and eventually came around to score. Here's Josh Bell. Grounded to VR in the 1st inning, but he is 4 for 9 in this series, and attacking the first pitch and fouling it back. Go back to Friday night, and Bell, a few players with 5 home runs. This is number 5 from Bell. This was after that rain delay of nearly 2.5 hours. Bounced into the Allegheny. Part of that 4-0 Pirates win on Friday night.
Yeah, rough outing for Rob Scahill. Came in the 4th.
And Jimmy Nelson pitched well in the first 3 innings, but rain delay much too long for Craig Counsell to send him back out there. And likewise with Chad Kuhl, who was effective for the Pirates. But the Pittsburgh bullpen was better. One strike pitch to Bell. Curve drops in there. Davies gave up 2 runs on Monday against the Cardinals. Nothing to Cincinnati on April 25th. 5 innings of 6-hit shutout ball. 0-2 pitch. Bell out in front, goes down swinging. A curve gets Bell, and that's out number 1.
Yeah, back-to-back curveballs, 1 for a strike, and this one off the plate and down. Yeah, try to avoid fastballs to Josh Bell. He's proven that he can hit that pitch pretty well. So that's a pretty good location for a fastball, 72 miles an hour, with a 2-strike pitch.
1 out, 1 on for the Pirates here in the 4th inning. Leadoff single to center from Jordy Mercer. There's Gregory Polanco. Walked in the 2nd inning and then got picked off. Meaning in a big way off the bag at first, and Davies caught him. Remains in that cleanup role. Mercer off the bag at first. A 1 pitch to Polanco. Drove in 86 runs last year, did Polanco. Signed a 5-year contract with this ball club. Be around through the 2021 season.
Well, he's a guy that shoots the ball all over the field, line to line, and you can tell by the way the Brewers are set up defensively with no shift. That's about as straight away as you'll see the Brewers play anybody. See how shallow Keon Broxton is out there in center field.
2 balls, 1 strike. That's one thing the Pirates have adjusted with their defense. They played them shallow. McCutchen, the center fielder last year, the advanced metrics were not kind to him, the defensive numbers, and Hurdle has spoken about it. They analyzed everything, and they backed him up, specifically McCutchen, who's returning out there in center field. Broxton runs very well. He can run down a lot of balls that be over the head of a fair number of other center fielders, not named Billy Hamilton, I guess.
Did you see his game yesterday?
Yeah, he's putting on a little bit of a show right now.
Wow. Running down in center field, running the bases. It's hard to tell, based on, how outfield, different teams play in the outfield based on just the Brewers, because everybody plays the Brewers deep in the outfield pretty much. They take away, slugging percentage.
Full count to Gregory Polanco. And that is ball 4. There's the second walk from Davies, and both of them issued to Polanco. MVP membership is the only way to secure your seats at the new home of the Milwaukee Bucks, opening in the fall of 2018. Visit foxsportswisconsin.com/events for details on how to secure your seats today. So the first sign of trouble here this afternoon for Zach Davies. Leadoff single to Mercer, and after a strikeout of Josh Bell, Davies walks Gregory Polanco. And now here is Jose Ozuna. He struck out his first trip. Sweet if the Brewers could get this one and break even on the road trip. 6-3 on that first road swing through Toronto, Cincinnati, and Chicago. Scheduled off day tomorrow before the Red Sox come in. Good ball for strike 1. Ozuna unable to check.
Hey, he's having a difficult time with that breaking pitch. As long as Davies keeps it down, he should be all right. Fastballs for show, and try and get him to bite on low breaking pitches.
Strike pitch to the Pirates left fielder. Forced him low to even the count. Four-year-old Jose Ozuna. Split his time between Double-A and Triple-A last year. First real threat of the day for the Pirates. First time this afternoon they have a runner in scoring position. That's where Mercer is at second. Polanco the runner at first. 2-1 to Ozuna.
And that biting down in the zone. Look at that. I mean, that's a pretty good cluster for Davies. Just missing the knees.
Phil Gosselin on deck. Mix and match lineup here today for Clint Hurdle. Cutchin and Harrison among those not in the lineup, along with Cervelli. There's Gosselin, the second baseman this afternoon. A full count to Jose Ozuna. And the payoff pitch is hit in the air to left field. Hernan Perez, out number 2.
Yeah, good pitch, breaking pitch once again. Didn't have to be perfect. Something other than a fastball. Curveball up in his zone, but he had Ozuna out in front right off the end of the bat.
Big out there for Davies. One more to go here to get through this 4th inning. Trying to keep the Pirates off the board.
Yeah, got behind the count to Ozuna, but those pitches were pretty good. I mean, they were right at the knees, didn't miss by much. And that's good for Davies when he's missing down there. You don't want to miss up out over the plate.
Two men out, 2 men on for Phil Gosselin. Grounded to VR in the 2nd inning. He takes a fastball for strike 1. Gosselin, the 28-year-old out of Westchester, Pennsylvania. The Arizona Diamondbacks last year traded him back in February to the Pirates for a minor leaguer. One pitch coming to Gosselin. Davies having to grind through this a little bit.
Pretty much for same pitch he threw first pitch. That was called a strike. Might have even been a little bit higher.
You see, very efficient in the 1st and 2nd innings. Gave up a base hit to Chris Stewart in the 3rd, a single to Mercer here in the 4th, and a walk to Polanco.
See those pitches at the bottom of the zone. One a strike, one a ball.
And a little chopper up the line, and it will roll foul. Well, we've seen a couple of these this season that have just hugged the line and have stayed fair, but this time it rolls foul.
Yep, you know, grass not wet today, so that ball is going to come off the grass, and all Shaw could do is hope it goes foul. It did.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Gosselin. Bandy and Davies making sure they're on the same page here. And the 2-2. He got him swinging. Change up. And that is what gets Phil Gosselin to end the 4th inning as the Pirates strand a pair. And we are through 4 in Pittsburgh, with the Brewers leading the Pirates 2-0.
over the Pirates in this series finale. And we all know the heroes on the field, but this season the Brewers and Meyer want to honor the real heroes of our community. Each month, one outstanding individual will be recognized as the Brewers Community Achiever, presented by Meyer. If you know someone who has contributed to their neighborhood in an extraordinary way, you can nominate them by visiting brewers.com/community.
All right, thanks very much, Sophia. Top of the 5th we go. Orlando Arcia, Zach Davies, and Jonathan Villar face Tyler Glasnow. Davies getting out of a bit of a jam in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Saved his best changeup for when he needed it most. That was a nice pitch.
And Phil Goslin swinging. Pirates stranding a couple of runners. 3-0 now the count on Arcia. Good work here early on from Davies. We talked about it. That first time through the batting order has been an issue for Zach. Those first 3 innings, and good through the first 4 here today as Arcia draws a walk to lead off the 5th. Mentioning a nice day today, cool but dry. How about this? The San Diego Padres got rained out today in a home ballpark, something that does not happen very often. They were scheduled to wrap up their series against the Dodgers. First rain out there in a couple of years, and we had a couple of them since the park opened. Get it out of their system now, because that's the next road trip for Milwaukee.
Can you imagine going into San Diego getting rain?
That one, this has been a rough trip with the weather here for the Brewers. The rain in St. Louis, and then it seems like we brought it with us over here to Pittsburgh. Get it out of there now.
A lot of rain in Milwaukee when last homestand.
Yeah, you're right. Nice and sunny, both here and there right now. 1-1 the count to Davies, looking to move Arcia up a bag. And fouls this off. 1-2 now to the Brewers pitcher.
You can see Davies has got the bat back in the stance a little bit. You got to get that bat head out in front. Easy to say, tough to do sometimes, but when you have the barrel of the bat above the handle, there's no way you can pop it up. Get that bat head out in front, get that good angle, and drop it down.
And Davies able to drop it down this time. Bell to the covering Goslin for out number 1. Sacrifice complete for Zach Davies.
Yeah, with 2 strikes. Good job by Zach. Check it out. See that bat head. He's got it out in front a little bit better. See the way he's able to just catch the baseball with the end of the bat and deaden it enough to advance the base runner.
One out. Arcia the runner at second. Chance for Jonathan Villar to pick him up. Villar singled his last trip and scored on the Eric Thames double. And Villar shortens up and takes. Chris Stewart getting the starting call behind the plate today. Pirates head out to Los Angeles after today's game. This is the one brief time they're home. They're in a stretch where they play 14 of 17 away from PNC Park. One-0 pitch to Jonathan Villar. Tries to check it and cannot. Ryan Knight, the third base umpire. Villar has driven in 16 runs. The average and on-base percentage not where he would want it to be, but he has brought in some runs.
And keep that same approach he had his last time up. That line drive over the shortstop's head. That'll score a run. It's amazing how shallow the Pirates are right here with VR. He's got plenty of power.
Again, showing bunts and fouling it off. 1-2 the count. Hey, you're right. He's an exception here to the rule. You talked about it earlier here today about how teams play the Brewers deep in the outfield. This is an extra base heavy team.
Especially with the wind blowing out to center field. I think they'd be playing a little bit deeper.
Balls 2 strikes to Jonathan VR. Arcia dancing off the bag at second, getting Glasnow's attention. Leadoff walk from Arcia, advancing on a sac bunt from Zach Davies. Here's the 1-2. VR sharply hit. Gosselin cannot handle it. It kicks it out into center field. Arcia will score, and it's a 3-0 Brewers lead.
Now, good job, Eddie Cedar. Realized that ball was carrying off Gosselin far enough, and Arcia able to score easily. Orlando never slowing down. Ball hit hard, and you can see how Gosselin kicks it into center field. Arcia never stops around third base and scores standing up. Ed Cedar waving him around all the way, and the Brewers with a 3-0 lead.
So an E4 has VR at first and has Arcia in. Still just one out here in the 5th inning. Eric Thames, 2 hits in as many at bats. A single in the first, a run scoring double in the 3rd. Well, an error it is, but it was a well hit ball at the plate, presented by Wendy's. You look at Thames and his 2 for 2 afternoon so far. The RBI gives him 21 on the season.
Yeah, Brewers picking up a couple of runs on mistake. Remember that line drive by Thames over the head of Jaso, he misjudged. And now the error.
It was in the 3rd inning. Resulted in the first run of the afternoon for Milwaukee.
And that was with 2 outs.
1-1 pitch to Thames. Talking to himself.
Always. Always positive, though.
Ball 2 strikes to the first baseman. VR the runner at first. Now the 1-2. Thames will take. That's now being tested here in this, now the 5th inning of the game. Brewers with runs in the last 3 innings. A couple of mistakes from the Pirates defense and a solo home run from Travis Shaw. And Thames swings and does not get it. That's the 2nd out of the inning.
Yeah, good curveball down and in. That's that curveball we heard about, from Glasnow. He's got a good one. And that was about as good as you can get right there.
4 strikeouts for Glasnow this afternoon. And now he'll face Hernan Perez. He has struck out and is grounded to short. Good fastball from Glasnow for strike 1. 20th start of the year for Perez. He's played every outfield position. He has starts on the left side of the infield. Playing left field again this afternoon. VR is running. The pitch is up high and the throw goes through and into center field, and VR lay break. He's going to get to 3rd anyway.
Another error. Let's see if the Brewers can take advantage of another error. That'll be an E2. Stolen base, error, catcher. And the Brewers have yet to get a base hit, and they're threatening to score again. Yeah, walk, sacrifice, error, stolen base, error, and the Brewers are looking to stretch their lead. That's a good reaction, that lady behind him.
That is one distraught fan. Aaron on Perez, a foul ball.
That's great.
No, don't do it. Pirates had gone 5 straight games without committing an error. They have been loose at times defensively. No great secret there, but an errorless streak of games ending at 5, a couple of them here in this 5th inning. And Perez, a swing and a miss. Fastball upstairs that he cannot get to. But the Brewers get a run without the benefit of a hit. Lead the Pirates 3-0. The order here for the Pirates, Gifting Gopay leading off. He'll be followed by Chris Stewart, and then the 9th spot in the order. In the bottom half of the 5th, the Brewers have scored a run in each of the last 3 innings. In the 5th, they score without getting a hit. Curveball has Davies ahead 2 strikes and nothing to Gifting Gopay. Zach Davies got out of some trouble in the 4th inning. Runners at 1st and 2nd with 1 out. Got a fly ball from Jose Ozuna. Good change up to get Phil Goslin on strikes, and a change right there gets in Gopay for out number 1.
Yeah, get a feel for that one, and he's going to start putting together some nice outings. The curveball and the changeup. Hey, today's time of the game, Bootleggers in Amherst Junction. They call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. They get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. That's offered courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Check out that hat. Made of wood. Carved expertly with the ball and glove logo. That is some solid work right there.
Yeah.
Here's Chris Stewart.
That is not one size fit all.
No. Not adjustable. Yeah, I made it.
That's some nice craftsmanship right there.
Very impressive. and he knows it. 0-2 the count to Chris Stewart. Creative attire at the ballpark. Well done.
And you get that hat and Chris Stewart's shoes, and you got something.
Oh, you are too cool for school. Ground ball foul at the line. You're liking those kicks. Next homestand, I want to see you bust out the Brewer kicks that you.
Hey, the Allen Edmonds.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The wing tips.
Yeah,
I will.
Those are sweet.
I'm gonna. It's not so much I like him. My eyes just keep getting drawn to him.
Well, it's
I don't know why that is.
Kind of hard to avoid.
Maybe even better in a night game.
A ball, 2 strikes. There's a liner in the left field. Here comes Perez. Out number 2. Hit that on the button, but Aaron able to track it, and there are 2 up, 2 down in inning number 5. All over once again, Aaron. Here's Tyler Glasnow. Struck out in the 3rd inning. Bunt attempt that went foul with 2 strikes. Now 1 for 6 on the season. And all 3 of those RBIs coming in his last start against the Reds. Looking like a bases loaded walk to a pitcher.
Right.
He's only got 1 of them. Also had a 2-run single. Two balls, 1 strike. Davies has allowed just 2 hits so far in this game. He has walked a couple. And he now goes 3-1 to Tyler Glasnow.
Well, just missing that lower part of the strike zone.
Here's the 3-1. And he missed, and he walks the pitcher.
Yeah, Lance Barrett, home plate umpire, doesn't like that pitch down there, right at the knees.
Turns over here as Zach would love to get through this plus 1 more if he can, as John Jaso steps to the plate. It's kind of into the mid-80s for Davies. He's hit the upper 90s, 99, his busiest outing so far this year. That was in the home matchup against the Cardinals on April 20th. With 5 1/3. Jaso, a pop up to short and a ground ball to second. And the curve is in for strike 1. One pitch, and there's a foul ball and another curve. 0-2 the count. Well, Jaso, he's a pretty good player, but he can make a mistake too. This was with 1 out last night. A liner to Aaron Perez, and Jaso just kept running, was doubled off, and then this off the bat of Thames had Jaso turned around in right field. Resulted in a run-scoring double. Remember, Jaso had been a catcher and was the primary first baseman last year. They're trying to find a spot for him in the lineup from time to time. Get that bat in the lineup for the Pirates.
Yeah, so he cost his team a run today and cost his team a run yesterday on the bases.
Yeah, got away with it. Pirates did last night. Jaso, a swing and a foul tip on a changeup. And the Pirates have had their miscues both yesterday and today on the bases. Gregory Polanco getting picked off back in the 2nd inning after leading off that inning with a walk. Davies ahead of the count. A ball, 2 strikes to John Jaso. Glasnow the runner at first. trying to keep the Pirates off the board here in inning number 5. Here's the 2-2. Trying to get his 3rd win of this season is Zach Davies. Lowered that ERA, which is a bit over 6 coming into this outing this afternoon. Facing Jaso, his 2nd year with the Pirates was with the Tampa Bay Rays in 15. A couple of years with the Oakland A's. Actually, a couple of tours with the Rays. Again, the 2-2. And that is strike 3 called. Changeup fooling Jaso. And that's strikeout number 6 for Zach Davies. And the Pirates strand another runner. Locking up Jaso and keeping him off the board. 3-0 Brewers after 5. Brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Beautiful Sunday afternoon in Pittsburgh. The rain finally moving out late last night. Sunny day, temperatures in the 50s. We'll take it. Take that score as well. 3-0 Brewers as we move on to inning number 6. Travis Shaw will be leading things off here for the Brew Crew. Trying to go 3-3 on this road trip. The Brewers, they are 8-6 away from home so far. Break even here and get back home. Scheduled off day tomorrow, and then the Red Sox and the Mets come to town. Here's Travis Shaw. He led off the 4th inning in a very loud fashion. As we check out the Powerball home run leaderboard, you see Shaw with 7 now, and he homered in the 4th inning to lead things off. Eric Thames with the 11 leading the way. Ryan Braun is here, and as Sophia Minard reported just before first pitch, is starting to feel a little bit better, and with some luck could be back in the lineup on Tuesday. Off day buys him another day to get that arm back to health. Trapezius tightness that pulled him out of the game last Sunday against the Atlanta Braves, but just some trouble with the arm in general, trying to be able to throw comfortably.
A little wear and tear, you know. Ryan, 33 years old. He's had a lot of playing time under his belt, and I know you get the win here today in a 3-3 road trip, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, without your best hitter. Nah, not bad. I'll take that.
Well, you take that any time. Craig Counsell's team continues to be a very competitive group. Shaw, a swing and a miss here, and a curveball from Glasnow for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, that's a good pitch. Well, he gets ahead in the count. He throws that down and in. That is a tough pitch on a left-handed hitter. 6'8", 220 pounds.
California guy from Santa Clarita.
Fifth rounder in 2011.
He has struck out the last 3 Brewers he's faced. Got Thames and Perez in the 5th inning and begins the 6th with a punch out of Shaw. Here's Domingo Santana. Santana's had a pretty good road trip at the plate. 6 for 18. Hitless in 2 trips here this afternoon. Swings and sends this one in the air. Shallow right field. John Jaso now has to back up a bit. Then kicking out towards right center field. 2 men away.
Hey, the Brewers need your vote. All 35 of them to be exact. Go to brewers.com/vote and cast your ballot up to 5 times per day, 35 times total, to make sure the crew is well represented at the All-Star game this July in Miami.
You are on your promo game today.
Yeah, it was disappointing yesterday, but I had a nice little meeting with myself back at the room last night. Made a firm commitment to promo work, and
well, it's especially impressive that you can pull that off in a day game after a night game.
yeah, well,
that's a veteran. It's a veteran effort on your part. Jed Bandy with a fly ball to center field. This is Gregory Polanco. And Glasnow has a 1-2-3 inning here in the 6th. Score remains 3-0. Brew Crew. Brewers lead the Pirates 3-0. It's time now for our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Zach Davies looking good here so far this afternoon, Rob.
Yeah, able to really start to locate his breaking pitch. The changeout's been a good pitch for him last couple of innings. He had 3 walks, only 2 hits, and 7 punch-outs for Davies. So he's looking good and looking to get through the 6th inning for the first time this season.
5 1/3 is as deep as he has gone. He will face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, beginning with Jordy Mercer. Single to center back in the 4th inning. He took a called 3rd strike in the 1st. Pirates with just a couple of hits here so far. Davies has walked 3. No damage done. There you see the 7 strikeouts. 2 strikes and nothing to Jordy Mercer. Mercer with 10 runs driven in this season. 2-hole here today. A little tapper. Davies off the mound. There's the first out of the inning. Well, we showed you the wooden hat guy a little while ago. Our intrepid reporter Sophia, digging deep, has more info on this guy.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, I'm sitting next to Mark Bitson, who is a season ticket holder from Menominee Falls, and you are wearing the most impressive ash hat. Can you tell me the story behind the hat and how it was made?
Met a guy at a party in Germantown, young man going off to college, and he was building this thing in his garage out of a tree stump. Puts it on a lathe, turns it, and when I went there to visit him, where he was making it in his parents' garage, it wasn't even completely finished, and it looked kind of like a bowl for nachos. And we just we worked out a deal, and he finished it up for me, put a similar logo on it, and we wear it to all the games.
It's impressive, and the ball and glove logo, I mean, it looks like a batting helmet. It's awesome.
People think it's plastic, but it really is wood. It's made of ash. So it's very light, comfortable, and it's an eye catcher.
All right, thank you so much for sharing that. Matt and Brock, I think it's definitely one of the best pieces of headwear we've seen here.
Oh, no doubt about it. And he's got me hungry thinking that could double for a bowl of nachos. Ground ball to Eric Thames for the second out of the inning.
You know, some of the best ideas are concocted at a party.
You know, that is,
I mean, late into the evening.
Yep.
You see a tree stump and you think to yourself, you know, I could make a hat out of that.
It's amazing what those late night meetings can do.
Right. That's a good lid. Very nice.
And later this afternoon, it turns into a bowl for nachos.
Mm-hmm.
That is sweet. 2 outs here in the 6th inning.
I had a couple of tree stumps in my yard. Maybe.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, throw them in the back of the pickup and drop them off and end up with a hat. Of course, I'd need a pretty big tree stump to get a hat for me.
Well, you need another late night meeting, and you can all brainstorm, you and your closest friends, how you want to design it. You know, be great.
Mm-hmm.
Gregory Polanco, 2 plate appearances, 2 walks in this game. He got picked off first in the 2nd inning. Davies retiring the first 2 here in the 6th. Polanco has driven in a couple of runs in the series. And he turns on this into right field, and that's going to get to the corner. Gregory Polanco with a 2-out stand-up double. Hit number 3 for the Pirates this afternoon.
Yeah, Polanco has handled the fastball in pretty well in this series. You can see a 1-1 pitch, and Davies tried to crowd him again. I mean, he went back-to-back on the fastball in, and this time Polanco waiting for it and rips it down the line.
Pirates have stranded 4 runners so far in this game. Here is Jose Ozuna. He has struck out and has flied to left field. His first taste of the big leagues this season is Ozuna. Davies with a 1-0. It's hit in the air to left field, and it's hit well, and it is gone. And just like that, the Pirates are back in the game. Zach Davies retired the first two here in the sixth with a double from Polanco and the first career bomb from Jose Ozuna.
Yeah, watch the location, breaking pitch, and that's not where you want it. That's up, that's in, and Ozuna with the back leg hack able to get the Pirates to within 1 run. 2 outs, nobody on, double homer, and we've got ourselves a ball game here in Pittsburgh.
And we will also have ourselves a double switch, it looks like, as Zach Davies goes 5 2/3. Frustration a little bit showing there from Zach. He was able to get Mercer and Bell on ground balls, but gives up a double to Gregory Polanco. And then the 2-run shot off the bat of Jose Ozuna. And the day will be done for the 24-year-old Zach Davies. He leaves with his team in the lead, 3-2. Pitching change here in Pittsburgh. For Zach Davies, just cruising along here, had a good clean 6th inning going, and then it turned on a dime. You see his line, 5 2/3. And a big fly from Ozuna.
Yeah, first home run of the year for him, and about the only spot you don't want to throw it. Off speed, middle in, up in the zone, and he knocks it out of here. So it'll be Jacob Barnes to finish the 6th inning here, 17th appearance, 293 earned run average. Barnes much better his last time out on Friday. A 3-up, 3-down 7th here in Pittsburgh.
And you see Jesus Aguilar is on at first base, and a ground ball rolled to Jonathan VR, and it's quick work from Jacob Barnes here as he finishes up the 6th. Brewers leading 3-2.
home after the game, a 3-2 lead. And get live broadcast, scoring updates, breaking news, and more right at your fingertips with MLB.com At Bat, the official app of the Brewers. Download At Bat today, free for your smartphone or tablet.
A 3-2 lead for the Crew to clean up the business from the changes for the Brewers. Barnes made quick work of Phil Goslin. That double switch, Jesus Aguilar on and playing first base, and he will bat in the 9th spot of the order. And Eric Thames moves out to right field, replacing Domingo Santana. 7, 8, and 9. Keon Broxton leading off here. Tyler Glasnow still in there for the Pirates. See Broxton's day. And his hitting streak stopped last night at 6 games. Still hitting .341 coming into this series finale. .341 over his last 13 games. That's now impressive here so far. The Brewers with just 4 hits this afternoon.
He's been able to minimize the walks, and he's shown a very good curveball today.
3-1 the count to Keon Broxton. A swing and a miss there on a fastball. Broxton, part of that Pirates organization, came over to trade for Jason Rogers. And he goes the other way, and a base hit into right field.
That's just a beautiful piece of hitting. I mean, the pitch before he pulled off of, almost identical location. Actually, that last pitch that he got the base hit on, a better pitch for Glasnow than the one before. Down and away, goes right into right field with it. That's just the way you want to do it. Perfect swing by Keon. He let the ball travel and just serves it out there in the right field.
What you're talking about, the spray chart there for Broxton. As he sends one out into right field, and Orlando Arcia is at the plate.
And most of those hits to right field have come recently.
Look at Darnell Coles. Talked about it during the course of this season, ongoing and
never stops.
And that work paying off here of late for Broxton. 1-0 pitch coming to Arcia. Broxton running. Pitch is taken a strike, and the throw not in time. Broxton with his 7th stolen base of the year.
Yeah, Stewart didn't get a handle on it the first time. He double clutched on it. Had he not done that, he might have been able to throw him out at second base. Still, even after the double clutch, a pretty good throw. Didn't get it the first time. Fell out of his hand, and that's what cost him the out. Kind of a hesitation as he took off, but he got his stolen base.
A ball, a strike to Orlando Arcia. Broxton 1 for 2 this afternoon in the stolen base department. Keeping an eye on Broxton over there. Jordy Mercer trying to keep Broxton close. Arcia's day so far, he led off the 5th with a walk and then eventually scored. We were scoring in that 5th inning without a hit. Look out, pitch taken high and tight. Very wary of Keon Broxton right now.
Yeah, we saw Garza take one up there yesterday in a bunt attempt. And this one up and in. It's pretty good balance right there. A limbo work.
Stretch you out a little bit. Brewers looking for their first hit. Arcia in a bunt situation here. 2 balls, 1 strike. and lays one down, and that's going to stay fair. Bell allows it to stay fair, applies the tag as Broxton moves to third.
Yeah, with nobody out man at second, you take that play right there. It could have gone foul, but you want to take the out. Yeah, good job by Arcia to get Broxton over to third base for less than 2. He was called out of the baseline. You don't have to chase him down all the way to the dugout.
Yeah, he was. All right, here's Jesus Aguilar. He went as part of the double switch in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Opportunity here to pad the lead. 3-2 game. Keon Broxton, the runner at third. Aguilar with a couple of hits here in this road trip, including a big home run on Thursday night in St. Louis. There's a fly ball into right field toward the line. A fair ball. It'll bound into the seats for a double. An RBI ground rule double for Aguilar as Broxton is in a 4-2 ball game.
Yeah, he's starting to heat up again. I mean, that's not the hardest hit ball he's had all year, but very effective. That little jam shot that was able to keep down that right field line, and RBI for Jesus Aguilar. That's what you call manufacturing a run. Base hit, stolen base, bunt him over, double down the line, and the Brewers have a 2-run lead. It's our Badger Mutual Insurance run of the game so far here in the 7th.
Nice road trip here for Jesus Aguilar, breaking through. A double switch now for the Pirates as Van Hertel will go to his bullpen. Johnny Barbado making the jog onto the PNC Park mound. We'll take a break with the Brewers leading the Pirates 4-2. Seventh inning, leading the Pirates 4-2. Pitching change here for Pittsburgh. Double switch, as a matter of fact. Johnny Barbado now on the mound for the Pirates.
Yeah, only 3rd appearance at 245 earned run average. Barbado appeared with the Yankees, 13 appearances last year with New York. I'm kind of surprised they're not bringing in a lefty, although lefty has been used quite a bit in this series so far.
It's been the case. They've used all 3 of them in this series. LeBlanc working 3 innings on Friday night. There's Alan Hansen, part of that double switch. He will play second and will bat in the 9th spot of the order. Aguilar, the runner at second, run scoring double. A pinch hit roll for Aguilar, and now VR at the plate. He has reached twice. He singled in the 3rd inning, reached on an error in the 4th, stole a base, and advanced to 3rd on a throwing error. Tyler Glasnow replaced. He goes 6 in a 3rd inning. 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 of which are earned. 2-0 pitch coming to Jonathan Villar. Barbato, a 6th-round draft pick by the Padres back in 2010. Like mentioned, was with the Yankees last year and came over in that mid-April trade just a few weeks ago. 2 balls, 1 strike to Villar. Again, trying to bunt and fouling it off.
Yeah, they say he has a very good curveball, does Barbato. Called up at the end of April.
24 years old from Miami, Florida. Two balls, 2 strikes to Jonathan Villar. Your scoring inning here for the Brewers and looking for more. Little tapper out in front of the plate. Barbato, the play is at first, and Bell holds the bag for out number 2, and Craig Counsell might want to take a look at this one.
Yeah, the question is, does Josh Bell have his foot on the bag when he catches the baseball? Yeah, throw a little bit up the line. And Counsell wants to take a look at it. Right off the end of the bat. Takes Barbato a while to get there. Now, does Bell have his foot on the bag when he catches the baseball? This will be a better look at it. Close.
I'm not so sure.
Yeah,
this is going to get reviewed here. That may have come off the bag.
Yeah, it's, maybe he does the. Oh, you're splitting hairs here. I mean, right there is where he makes contact with the baseball. Is his toe on the bag? Closer on that look.
Yeah, call on the field was out, so you need strong evidence that the foot was off the bag, and a little less confident after that last angle, but we'll see how this turns out.
As soon as the baseball hits the leather, that is dictated possession, and is the foot or the toe on the side of the base.
So our first challenge of the afternoon.
Bell certainly didn't help the cause. He didn't stretch properly on it, making that a little bit more difficult. Now it's going to be very close either way.
And the call will hold up, as they say. Bell did hold the bag. That is the 2nd out of the inning. Call is confirmed. It was a challenge worth trying here for the Brewers. Bell, they say, a work in progress still defensively over at first, but swings a good bat. So it's 1-3 on the play at first. Aguilar moves to 3rd, and here is Eric Thames. Has a couple of hits. He has driven in a run this afternoon, and he gets drilled here, and he will take first. Didn't even flinch.
I mean, if you want to do that, you don't have to throw 4 pitches anymore. You just go 4.
Yeah, you're right.
Just drill him in the back and take first base.
So Thames on for the 3rd time here this afternoon. Single, a double, and hit by a pitch. Aguilar, pinch double, run scoring double, brought around Keon Broxton, and now Hernan Perez at the plate. Wave and a miss. Perez looking for his first hit of the afternoon. The Brewers with 6 hits to go with the 4 runs. Barbato with the 1-strike pitch. Perez will lift one in the air. Calling for it is Jordy Mercer. And that'll That'll do it for the Brewers in the 7th inning, but they pick up another run, and the lead is 4-2 over the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Brewers trying to get a game in this series, a split in the road trip, and we will keep it here at PNC Park for the playing of God Bless America.
Fans, it's time for the 7th inning stretch.
Leading off this inning for Pittsburgh, and throughout this series we have told you his story. He is the first African-born player to make it to Major League Baseball. Grew up in Johannesburg with the Randburg Mets. His mother Maureen was a house cleaner there. She raised her 3 boys there, and she died a few years ago from double pneumonia. But Gift has a younger brother, Victor, who is in the Pirates organization, and I asked Counsell about what it means for a player like Ngope to make it here to the big leagues, and he said it's huge. He says he's now a role model to millions of boys growing up in Africa that maybe they can make that jump. And he says really it's a story of courage and of perseverance for him to take that leap of faith, spend a number of years in the minor league system, over 700 games for him. But certainly he said it's our job to get his story out there, and that he can be hopefully a role model and a story of hope for some of those other boys in Africa, that they can make that next jump as well.
Yeah, it is a great story, and he can play. I mean, this is a guy that they signed, what, 8-9 years ago, as you mentioned, and known as their best infielder defensively in their system last year. And as you see by those numbers, now the sample size is modest, but he's getting some hits. He's making some things happen.
Well, he's in the big leagues because he can play baseball.
That's
exactly bottom line, and he's done pretty well. And with all the injuries that the Pirates have experienced so far this year, getting an opportunity, you never know. When some of these guys come back, it may be Ngope that sticks around. You got, Frazier, I should say David Freese coming back. You got Frazier coming back, so there's going to be some moves made. So he's making a name for himself up here.
Yeah, he is. He got things started in that 10th inning last night with a base hit and came around to score the winning run. Jacob Barnes trying to get things back in order for himself. He finished up the 6th inning, getting a ground ball off the bat of Phil Goslin. Barnes in there in the 7th. And delivers a strike to Ngope to even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, it's been the struggle for him with the cut fastball. Early in the season, so good, unhittable. He's just having a difficult time throwing it for strikes and getting that sharp break on it like he had early on.
2-2, a swing and a miss, bringing it at 96 for out number 1.
And that's a good spot for that big heater right there, up and in. Yep, right after a breaking pitch, bust him inside with 96. Good luck. A little bit off the plate, perfectly located.
One away here in the bottom of the 7th. Here is Chris Stewart. Singled in the 3rd inning, line to Hernan Perez in left in the 5th. And there's a ground ball to Travis Shaw. And Barnes has retired the first 2 he has faced in the 7th. This will be big if he can finish this in a clean way. So Corey Knebel last night striking out the side. Go into that 7-8-9 routine that's been pretty good for this Brewers club. Barnes in the 7th, Knebel the 8th, and Feliz the 9th. Here is Alan Hansen. 9th spot of the order here for the Pirates. Came in as part of a double switch in the top half of this inning. Fastball misses, 2 balls, no strikes. Hansen runs well, the 24-year-old. And Barnes a pitch away from putting him on. 3-0 the count.
Yeah, and bringing the tying run to the plate. That looks so good. First 2 hitters falling behind 3-1. You can't walk him.
And here is the 3-0, and it's a 4-pitch walk. Strikeout of Ngope, a ground ball from Stewart, and then a 4-pitch walk to Alan Hansen,
who is up there to try and do anything he can to get on base.
Counsell's going to make another move.
They got a left-hander coming up. Remember, you've got some firepower on the bench for the Pirates.
Oliver Drake had been getting loose, and now he is going to come on. A pitching change with 2 outs. Alan Hansen, the runner at first. Exit Barnes. Enter Drake. after a walk to Alan Hansen. Jacob Barnes now will give way to Oliver Drake.
Yeah, picked up a win on Thursday at St. Louis. Yeah, he pitched the sixth. Aguilar hit the home run. Brewers went on to win. 13th appearance overall between the Brewers and the Orioles. A .314 earned run average. His numbers with the Brewers are off the charts. Outstanding work for Drake. A .164 earned run average.
Yep, 9 appearances with the crew, and number 10 here as he faces John Jaso. He represents the tying run. He'll have to deal with that splitter from Drake. As Ron said, Drake has been terrific in his time with the Brewers. Trying to finish off this 7th inning. Keep his team out in front by a couple of runs. Barnes goes an inning. Davies went the first 5 2/3, gave up 4 hits and the 2 runs the Pirates have. And a home run with a man on from Jose Ozuna. And that was ball 3. So Barnes, the last hitter he faced, Alan Hansen, a 4-pitch walk, and now it's 3-0. Drake versus Jaso.
Not missing by much, is he?
No, he is not. There's a strike to Jaso.
I don't know whether it's been all day for Lance Barrett, the home plate umpire. He just does not like that low strike.
And saw those dots often today from Davies. Got the ball down most of the afternoon. 3-1 the count. And a fly ball hit into center field. Drifting back, Broxton, and he will squeeze it for the 3rd out of the inning. So Drake closes out inning number 7, a 4-2 lead for the Brew Crew. The Red Sox offense coming alive here in the last couple of games. They have really been struggling to score in the first few weeks of the season, but you just mentioned what's happening today. They put 11 on the board yesterday. Travis Shaw leading things off. Shaw's had a hand in this Brewers lead, a home run in the 4th inning. Johnny Barbado back out there for the Pirates. One hit for Shaw in this series, a loud one. And just misses one down the line here. 1-1 the count. He's got to hit it 21 feet to clear the Clemente wall in right field, and Shaw had no trouble.
Yeah, a high towering shot almost over everything. That was a back row out there in right field. When he hits them, they stay hit.
No wall scrapers. 51 home runs now for the Brewers this year. A couple in this series, Perez last night and Shaw this afternoon. Shaw, a pinch hitter, and Jet Bandy here in the top of the 8th for Milwaukee. And Shaw with a fly ball out to shallow right field. Jaso on the run, and it's out number 1. Keep in mind that Jaso, a catcher by trade, DH'd a lot in the American League. He hasn't caught in the last 3 years. Played first base last year. Times it can be an adventure out there, but he handles that for out number 1.
Yeah, they've got only 4 outfielders on the roster, but they have 3 catchers. Kind of an interesting decision on the roster for the Pirates.
It is. Clint Hurdle has mentioned to reporters a couple of times it's not really what he wants to do, and probably not what any manager would want to do, particularly now with bullpens at least 7 deep and often 8. Nick Franklin pitch hitting. It just seems like they want to make sure that Francisco Cervelli is good to go. He's not in the lineup today. He had caught 3 straight games. He dealt with a foot problem. They kept him out for 4, but he avoided the DL. Yeah, Elias Diaz is their 3rd catcher on the 25-man right now.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you send one of the catchers down and then Cervelli has to go back on the disabled list, you can bring him back up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I've been kind of surprised just reading the quotes from Hurdle that they have maintained having 3 catchers, but that's what they're going with right now. 2-1 the count to Nick Franklin. He had a 3-hit night on Friday. Barbado to a 3-1 count here. Tyler Glasnow went the first 6 1/3, gave up 6 hits, 4 runs, walked 2, struck out 6. One of those runs, by the way, unearned. Barbado with the 3-1, and he just lost Nick Franklin. A 1-out walk to Franklin in the 8th. Let's see if they can get a little bit more insurance here. This is a Brewers team that has been good offensively. The long ball, such a big part of it. It's been tough to score here against the Pirates this weekend.
Pitching's been pretty good.
Yeah, it has.
It really has. I mean, they were throwing strikes.
Brewers starting pitching has been good as well. It's at least given them a chance. Good pitching matchup last night with Garrett Cole and Matt Garza. Bullpen has been good. The Pirates have just been a little bit better, and that was the case certainly on Friday night. Well-pitched games in some tough conditions. A little bit better today, though. Some sunshine and dry weather. Bandy will lift one in the air. This will be handled by Jordy Mercer. That's out number 2. Rare tough afternoon to the plate for Jet Bandy.
Yeah, hits have been hard to come by for the Brew Crew in this series.
They have 6 today. They had 3 last night and 7 on Friday, and that followed a season-high 15-hit game on Thursday in St. Louis. There's Keon Broxton. He's hit in 7 of his last 8 games. Scored in the 7th. And he sends a fly ball out to Jaso in right field. And that'll do it for Milwaukee. Leave a man, a walk to Franklin. Still a 2-run lead for the Brewers. We move to the bottom of the 8th. '79, as a matter of fact. Here's Corey Knebel now on for the Crew in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Well, Corey's been outstanding. He has at least one strikeout in every appearance this year. He struck out the side. His last appearance, that was yesterday. A 1-2-3 inning with 3 punch outs. It's been all about the curveball and the velocity. You get that curveball over for strikes, you get hitters to chase that high fastball, and that's what they pretty much been the story of his season so far.
It's been just terrific, and see if he can keep that streak going and keep the Pirates quiet here in the 8th. It'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. It starts with Jordy Mercer. Takes a look at a strike on a fastball. You see Mercer's day, a 4th inning single that's sandwiched in between a called 3rd strike in the 1st and a tapper to the mound in the 6th. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Pirates with just 4 hits here in the game, all coming off Zach Davies, who was effective in 5 2/3. Good work out of the bullpen here so far from Jacob Barnes and Oliver Drake. 2-strike pitch to Mercer, and not messing around is Knebel, out number 1 in the 8th.
Yeah, there you go, another punch out for Corey, and it was all fastballs. Didn't need the curveball in this at bat, and has Jordy Mercer swinging out of the strike zone. That's the thing, you don't get much time to decide. Down in the count, 96 miles an hour.
All right, now it's Knebel against Josh Bell. There's that curve for strike 1. Well, with a good night on Friday, good night last night, and not much happening so far here, but he's had a good series. He's had a good stretch of games. 2 previous before this series. Swinging the bat well. Knebel out in front, 2 strikes and nothing. The curveballs has him out in front of the count.
Yeah, bounce one here.
Goes to the gas, and it's fouled off.
Bell's been on the fastball in this series. He'll foul off that fastball up in the zone.
0 for 3 today, but 7 of his last 15 in the previous 4 games for the Pirates. 0-2 pitch. He struck him out. 97 on the fastball. Well, Sophia Minard had a chance to chat with Corey Knebel about his season so far. Let's hear from Sophia right now.
Well, Corey Knebel just continues to add to his strikeout totals after striking out the side last night. That's now 24 on the season for him, including these last 2. He has at least one strikeout in each of his 16 appearances. And I talked to him about that curveball. We've seen a lot of fastballs from him today, but he said really with the curveball, it's been effective because he feels if he can throw it as hard as he can, it can come out looking like the fastball. So he said it does break a little bit more than a normal curveball. And then with the big drop in the velocity, he says he feels that pitch is kind of doing what it should. And Counsell said he's got a lot of trust in that pitch right now, and it gives the hitter really 2 legitimate pitches to defend against at the plate.
Yeah, especially so far when he throws for strikes. When he throws that curveball for strikes, the hitter has to, keep it in mind. If he's not throwing it for strikes, hitter's not going to pay much attention to it and just sit all over the fastball.
Knebel, who struck out the side last night, has struck out the first 2 Pirates here in the 8th this afternoon, and he's ahead in the count 0-1 to Gregory Polanco. He has walked twice. He has doubled. Trying to get him out for the first time today. Scored in that 6th inning, and his double was followed by a 2-run homer from Jose Ozuna. A ball to strike to Gregory Polanco. There's the curve, drops it in there for strike 2.
Yeah, that's what he was talking about. It has a different break to it. It's more of a roundhouse curve ball. Doesn't go straight down, and you can see where that pitch started way off the outside corner, ended up right down the middle.
Here's the 1-2. Bounced it up there. And he'll try again here against Gregory Polanco. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fastball sails up and away. Trying to get through another clean inning here for the Crew. Strikeouts of Mercer and Bell. A full count to Gregory Polanco. Here comes the payoff. And that is a hot shot back up the middle, a base hit. Knebel probably heard that one buzzing by him. A 2-out single for Polanco.
And fastball was down. That's why Polanco was able to get a bat on it. Get that pitch up a little bit. Tough to center on, but boy, look out, Corey. That didn't miss him by much. Watch this. That's dangerous right there. Well, Polanco's, you see his reaction.
Saying thank goodness himself. Knebel, it's one that heart rate goes up about 2 or 3 seconds after the ball buzzes by you. Here's Jose Ozuna with his first big league homer, his last time at the plate. A strike on a curveball from Knebel. With that hit gives the Pirates 5 in the afternoon. Polanco has 2 of them. Oh, 1 pitch to Jose Ozuna. On the hands and fights it off. 0-2 the count.
You got a couple of shots right here. You don't need to throw him a strike. Elevate the fastball, bounce a couple of curveballs.
Here comes the 0-2. He struck him out. Went with a fastball, and he strikes out 3 in the inning, giving up just a 2-out single to Gregory Polanco. We are through 8 in Pittsburgh, with the Brewers leading the Pirates 4-2. Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Let the games begin. Well, pitching has been ruling here this weekend. The Brewers again with good pitching this afternoon, leading 4-2 as we move on to the 9th inning now. Davies turning in good work in the Brewers bullpen. In shutdown mode so far, and we'll see what the Brewers can do as Johnny Barbado continues. This is his 3rd outing with the Pirates, and has been anything but a 1-out guy or anything but a 1-inning guy. He came in the 7th inning. Tyler Glasnow went the first 6 1/3. It has been Barbado's game since. Garcia just had to lean away and was able to check his swing. 1-1 the count. Barbado worked a couple of innings on the 28th against the Marlins, and then 2 days later an inning and 2/3 against the Marlins. One pitch to Orlando Arcia.
Pretty good pitch to hit right there. Fastball up and in. Then what do you do right after that? Right slider?
Yeah, absolutely.
But Barbado left it down the middle.
Just chopped foul. A ball, 2 strikes to Arcia.
And Barbado holding that split fingered grip. You know, as he takes the sign, and let's see if he throws any.
Here's the 1-2. And he struck him out swinging on a fastball, and that's out number 1 of the 9th. Let's check out what's on tap, presented by Miller Lite. Brewers back at it, starting a homestand on Tuesday night. Willie Peralta on the mound against Drew Pomeranz and the Boston Red Sox. Our coverage starts at 6 o'clock straight up Tuesday night on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Remember that Tuesday game, first pitch is at 6:40 at Miller Park as the crew returns home. It will be great to be back. Here is Jesus Aguilar. Been a good road trip for Jesus, including today a run-scoring double in the 7th inning. Providing his team with this 2-run lead. Brought home Keon Broxton, and Aguilar with a fly ball deep to center field. Polanco at the wall. It is gone. Number 2 on the road trip. Number 2 in the big league career of Jesus Aguilar.
Just so strong. It didn't even sound like he got that one. But he's able to muscle it. That's deep out there. It says 399, but it plays a lot deeper than that. And that is just one strong human being right there. Didn't get all of it. Actually down on the end just a bit and knocked it out of here to straightaway center field. Let's stay hot, Jesus Aguilar. That ball out of here by plenty. 2 RBIs, didn't even start the game.
Yeah, that's a good half day. Not even. So a 5-2 ball game as Jonathan Villar steps in.
That came in on a double switch in the 6th inning.
Second home run of the day for the Brewers and give them 52 on the year. It's the first long ball given up by Barbado as a Pirate.
Yeah, good to see Aguilar start to swing the bat and reap the benefits. I mean, it was a stretch where he was having a difficult time, not just to get at bats, but get some hits. Just kept grinding away, working at it, and reaping the benefits now.
0-2 pitch to Jonathan Villar. Aguilar's teammates gave him the business after that first home run, a big one that it was, personally and for the team in St. Louis. His first big league bomb, and was the difference in that game against the Cardinals. And after getting the silent treatment for a few seconds, they piled on him, and then they really gave it to him in the clubhouse. And it was something. If you had a chance to read the quotes or listen to some of the players, they were just thrilled for him and staying with it in a tough stretch. Remember, he had a 5-game hitting streak to start the year, which that followed a monster spring. And the playing time sporadic, and the hits were very few and far between. But this road trip, he has turned a corner. 2-2 pitch to Villar. That is strike 3 called. Barbado, strikeout.
That's that curveball that we heard about. He hasn't thrown too many of them. But how many people would have picked Jesus Aguilar if you were to bet which Brewer would hit the last home run? Which Brewer would be the last to hit a home run?
Yeah, that's right.
When you're coming out of spring training. But now he's got a couple of them.
He became the 13th Brewer to go deep this season. Here's Eric Thames trying to go deep, and that is a no-doubter. Eric Thames into the chairs in right field. John Jaso didn't even move.
Well, the drought's over. Not that it was a very long drought, but the drought, albeit a line drive out of here. 2 home runs for the Crew in the inning. I'll probably sit down. Neftali Feliz, he was up ready, thought he was going to come in with a 2-run lead, a couple of home runs. And this is a line drive out of here, and now the Brewers now with a 4-run lead.
Well, the long ball is back. Been about a week and a half for Thames, but he now has 12 homers on the year. As the Brewers bring out the big bats, and you see Thames closing in on the big league home run leaders, Aaron Judge and Ryan Zimmerman. Now a dozen for Thames as we have a pitching change here in Pittsburgh, with the Brewers leading the Pirates 4-2. bombs here in the 9th inning. One from Jesus Aguilar, another one from Eric Thames, the big man with number 12. And check out Keon Broxton. That's what I do. I flex and I hit home runs.
Yeah, what a great sense of humor. Yeah, Keon Broxton.
Is fun to see, and the Brewers now continuing the inning. Hernan Perez, first pitch swinging. That's knocked down by Ngope at third, and the throw over to first is in time. Josh Lindblom came in, needed one pitch. The side is retired here in the 9th inning. Brewers with a couple of runs though as we move to the bottom of the 9th. Aguilar number 2, and Eric Thames number 12. 6-2 Brew Crew. Showing some home run power here this afternoon, including a couple of bombs in the 9th. Jesus Aguilar and Eric Thames. That adds to what Travis Shaw did earlier this afternoon. A 6-2 lead for the Crew. And here comes Neftali Feliz.
Yeah, I guess the old adage is you get your closer ready to go and get into the ball game, bring him in regardless. So with a 4-run lead, a non-save situation, Feliz on here in the 9th.
And he will face Josh Harrison, pinch hitting for Phil Goslin. Harrison had the game-winning hit last night in the 10th inning. The pitch is missing up high. Feliz trying to finish this one off. Non-save situation that it is. And give the Brewers a nice ride home heading into an off day tomorrow, and then a homestand that begins on Tuesday night against the Boston Red Sox. Greg Council's team, if they can hold this, will go home with a 16-16 record. 2-1 the count to Josh Harrison. He lines one into left field, a base hit.
That just hits, doesn't he?
He does.
I mean, he likes that fastball, doesn't mind it inside, and it rips one into left field.
Walk-off last night was his 7th of his career. He's on a pretty good run right now.
And that hit was the right. So he covers both sides of the plate pretty well.
Said this before with Feliz, get you a clean inning now and then, but Sometimes he can make it a little bit interesting.
He's a nail biter.
There is Elias Diaz. He pinch hits. Gifting Gopay. He's one of the 3 catchers on the roster for the Pirates. Let's see what he has done in limited plate appearances. 2 for 9. 2 balls, no strikes. Diaz had his first big league hit on Tuesday against the Reds in Cincinnati. Made his big league debut a couple of years ago. Battled some injuries last season. And a strike from Neftali Feliz. 2-1 the count. Barnes worked an inning. Robert Drake finished an inning. Corey Knebel took care of business, striking out 3, giving up just a 2-out single to Gregory Polanco in the 8th inning. Pirates trying to get a little something going here against Feliz, down by 4 in the 9th. Here comes the 3-1. He is 26 years old. Signed with the organization back in 2008. Venezuela. Full count to Elias Diaz with Josh Harrison, the runner, at first.
Man, Flea's going to attack him with the fastball. You don't want to walk him in this situation. Make him hit his way on, a 4-run lead. High percentage strikes.
Chris Stewart waits on deck. Full count to Diaz, appearing in his 4th game this season. Just 3 with the big club each of the last 2 years, and that is a walk, and the first 2 are on. Well, the Pirates in the 9th. Those 2 homers in the 9th, looking better and better here for the Brewers. Yeah, Lauren Thames going deep to give the team a 4-run lead.
How many times have we seen it? A closer coming in a non-save situation and just doesn't have that same intensity. And yeah, base hit, walk. Now you got the tying run on the on-deck circle.
Remember, McCutcheon still has not been used. Cervelli has not been used. The 2 remaining bench players for Clint Hurdle. Chris Stewart. Leadoff single from Harrison, a walk to Elias Diaz, and now Stewart steps in. He singled in the 3rd inning, lined to left in the 5th, and grounded to Travis Shaw in the 7th. And he lays one down third base side. Feliz the flip to first to Aguilar for the out.
Oh, there's some nice footwork right there by Jesus Aguilar. And the Pirates want to take a look at it. Clint Hurdle's got the hand up. Some fancy footwork around that bag. I mean, Craig Counsell's has nothing but great things to say about the footwork and the abilities of Aguilar at first base. Kind of light on his feet, kind of bouncing around that bag, and it looked like he got the right foot on the bag. Right there. Good job. Good play.
Well, that's nimble. big play there by Jesus Aguilar. Just doubled, homered, and showing some good footwork over there at first. So runners at second and third, and one out for Alan Hansen.
Not a bad play by Phillies either, bouncing off the mound and making a decent throw to first base.
Hansen walked in the 7th inning. And he's down 2 strikes and nothing to Neftali Feliz.
I guess they're saving McCutchen for perhaps an opportunity to tie the game. I thought this might be a chance to use him here.
I think they'll have him out there for one big swing. A 4-run game in the 9th. 0-2 the count to Alan Hansen. He sails one high. Former Pittsburgh Pirate. Lees, Jared Hughes, Rob Scahill, all out in that Brewers bullpen. Former Pittsburgh Pirates. Harrison at third, Diaz at second. 1-2 to Hansen. That is popped up in the air, shallow right center, and it'll be Broxton making the catch, and the Brewers are 1 out away from getting a split on the road trip.
Yeah, good fastball inside on the 1-2 pitch. That ate him up. 97 miles an hour for Feliz. It takes a couple of base runners to wake him up from time to time.
It does.
That was a big lead.
It's just the way it seems to work. Pirates down to their final outs. There is John Jaso. Pop up, a ground ball, a strikeout in the 5th, and a fly ball to center in the 7th inning. Brewers trying to get 1 out of 3 in Pittsburgh and 3 out of 6 on the trip. Nats have come back alive after a quiet Friday and Saturday night.
Maybe it was the weather.
Works for me.
Yeah.
1-0 the count to Jaso. Good pitching to be sure from the Pirates and their starters. Good pitching period, but the Brewers getting to them. Two balls, no strikes to Jaso.
Yeah, put it on the tee right here. You just don't want to walk him and bring that tying run to the plate.
First 2 reached. He's retiring Stewart and Hansen. He's trying to end the game here against Jaso. Here's the 2-0. That's a strike.
Breaking pitch on 2-0, huh? Up by 4 runs.
Rarely dull.
Yeah.
Here comes the 2-1. And a ground ball by Feliz, but this will end the game as Arcia takes care of business. So does Neftali Feliz, and the Brewers get a split on the road trip. Big bats come back out, and really good pitching throughout the weekend for the Brewers, and today that pitching is rewarded. Eric Thames, his 12th homer of the year. Aguilar, a big bomb in the 9th. Travis Shaw hit his 7th long ball of the year, as the Brewers will go home with a .500 record. 6-2 your final as we send it to Jeff Grayson in our Fox Sports Wisconsin studio.